We all love China, right? I mean, come on, who can not love China?
Oh, that's not so much. So?
Anyway, we all know about the social credit system that China implemented years ago because it's become a big meme over the years. So I had this amazing idea for a tier list where I will involve the social credit system itself. That's right, gamers! I'm gonna see what anime characters are fit for the Chinese social credit system. Okay, so we have our 5 categories. At the top, we have model citizen, which basically means, you know, the highest tier of credit. Then you have great credit, which is not as good as model citizen, but, you know, it's still great credit. It's really good. Then there's neutral, which is self-explanatory. Then there's bad credit, where you can possibly be banned from transportation, stuff like that, or you have to go to re-education courses. Then finally, we have execution date, which basically means what it is.
What?
No, alright. I know that sounds bad.
Starting off this list, we have Ash Ketchum. Now this one, a lot of people would think he's in the negatives, but I think he's actually in the neutral. He clearly does fuck up at times, but I don't see him doing enough to stay in bad credit, if that makes sense. Also, his stupidity most of the time is very self-inflicted. Next is Yusuke Urameshi. This is an easy one. He's going into bad credit. Yeah, Yusuke's a hooligan, but I don't think he needs an execution date because he can control himself in a normal environment. However, he's still in bad credit because Yusuke's a heavy rebel and he would not fuck with China at all. I can definitely see potential for execution date, but for now I'll put him in bad credit. Now, to be fair to Onizuka, he does do a lot of good for folks, so it keeps him out of execution slightly. Still, with everything else, he's going to bad credit, and he's gonna have to have those re-education courses immediately. Now we got Mob up next. He would be in model citizens here, but he did go mad a bit near the end of the series. Though he didn't kill anyone and eventually did make up for damages, he is not in execution. The CCP hates spiritual practices, so Mob killing ghosts would get some points, but then again, it would also put him back into bad credit. Ironically enough, this is mainly because he works alongside Reagan, whose whole business is spiritual practice. This does not feel right to say, but I'm sorry, Mob. You're going to bad credit. Next we got Thorfinn. I would say this one's gonna be interesting to talk about. I would have said execution date originally if he was like season 1 Thorfinn. After his shift in ideology, he would definitely attend all the re-education courses needed and comply with the CCP to the fullest. So off that alone, I would think Thorfinn would be able to weasel his way into bad credit and out of execution. Next we have Deku, who is a great credit score. Deku would have been model citizen, but he had that dark vigilante phase. Other than that, he's a huge ally to the Hero Society and the government, so he's still in the green. Good job, Deku. Enjoy your extra hour of gaming.
Who the fuck is this black person in my lobby? You better change that skin now. Hey, Darky! I'm talking to you! How do I get this black out of my party?
Next up, we have Saitama, who is right on the model citizens here. Saitama is a huge ally to his nation's government and ensures the status quo without even receiving the proper hero ranking he deserves. Him being a registered hero and with no criminal record just adds him to the model citizen status. He doesn't have much going against him. Next, we have Eren Yeager. He's easily going to execution tier. Alright, this next one, I'm gonna get all the Joestars out of the way. Well, at least the ones with the anime. Jonathan Joestar, he is a clear-cut model citizen. That's easy. Joseph, I know damn well he is going to execution tier. That man will find a way to get into that tier. Jotaro, he would be in bad credit. He's not exactly hog wild to where he'd get in trouble that easily, but a criminal record does still put him in the red. Josuke, I'd put him in neutral, to be honest. He's not that bad of a guy, and the CCP doesn't have a rule against his haircut, so he'll be fine. Giorno Giovanna, that man is instantly getting a death sentence. Him running a mafia, they are definitely not going to fuck with that at all. Jolene, you could argue death sentence maybe, but I'm going to put her in bad credit right next to Jotaro. They share a similar position. Now we move on to Soma from Food Wars. This one is crazy because I feel like in theory, if he cooked for Xi Jinping, he could easily earn model citizen. Boy will turn the chairman into Dreamable in seconds. But at the end of the day, he is just a cook, so I'm just going to leave him in neutral. Now we got the GOAT Naruto, easily model citizen. Naruto would talk no jutsu all the Hong Kong protesters into peacefully talking with the CCP and get them all to come to his wedding at the end of the day. Easy chairman Naruto W. Next we have Simone. I think he would get an execution date. Kamina's influence would have made that man radicalize hard against something like China. Simone will fight the power and he will end the entire struggle of China. He will reunite Taiwan. Next we got David from Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Pretty easy execution date. He may have battled Arasaka, but can he handle the PLA? It's fucking Luffy. Now we move on to Baki. Baki is an immediate bad credit score. He's instantly blacklisted. Look up the story of Zhu Xiaodong. That's exactly how Baki's going out over in China. Next up, we got Shinra from Fire Force. Honestly, he's gonna have great credit. He's a firefighter. Firefighters are important to the government. Same with Tenma from Monster, though I'm gonna put him in Model Citizen alone for all he does. He's a top-class surgeon. That alone is earning him all the social credit he needs. Now on to Tanjiro. I think he's a fair candidate for Model Citizen. I can definitely see the argument for lower because of Nezuko, but I don't know. Also, I just don't see Tanjiro stirring shit up in China. I think he'd just support them all the way. Alright, next is Denji. This is an instant execution. Now, South Korea is a different story. Next, we have Goku. Goku, I can argue that he is a model citizen to the fullest. He protects all of Earth and everyone lends him their energy when he asks for a spirit bomb every single damn time. And of course, a large population of the Earth is in China, so if they're all rocking with him like that, he is a hard person to hate. He is definitely going to be the model citizen. Next, we got Ichigo. I'd say he'd be in the neutral zone. He's a chill character. He's not going to really do much in China. Though you could argue for higher, possibly great credit score because he does kill spirits. Revi from Black Lagoon, yeah, she's getting an execution. Next is Rudeus from Mushoku Tensei. His gamer lifestyle and CP addiction is putting him in the red. Afro Samurai, he's black. Next we have Kaneda. He's gonna be in a similar situation as Yusuke. However, he's a lot more radical than Yusuke and goes the extra mile to fuck with cops. So yeah, I'm gonna put him in execution date. Then there's Kazuma from Konosuba. He's gonna be an execution date. He's in the same position as Joseph. He's just gonna find his way to get on there. He's a dumbass. Next we got Gon from Hunter x Hunter. I could argue good credit, to be honest, with how closely he works with the Hunter Association. Arguably model citizen, but he does work close with an assassin, so it wouldn't really put...
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
Yuji by himself, he would be in great credit, but I feel like Sugano brings him down by a lot to execution. I mean, that's how the story is right now, right? I mean, so it wouldn't matter if I put him in execution tier. Now we have Light Yagami. This one's interesting to talk about. He could low-key be in model citizens here because of all the criminals he kills, but because he also kills detectives and police, he's definitely going to execution tier. Next up is Yugi Moto. I would say he's neutral credit easily. If it was Season 0 Yugi, he would definitely be instant execution. Now we're on to Edward Elric. In my opinion, I think he's model citizen, mainly because he's a full state alchemist. He's definitely given that respect, and also he's signed with Ying. He got the Chinese cosign. He's got everything going for him. Spike is in an odd position because bounty hunting is a job that makes Spike a private citizen aiding the government, which allows his work legally. Even though China has used bounty hunters in the past to collect money, they're not really going to associate with him just to give him good credit. So by default, you would have to put him in neutral credit. You could put him in bad credit technically because he most likely hasn't paid his bills from how poor he is, so you could also put him there. Finally, we have Lane. She would be in bad credit score range because with her becoming an internet god, China would see her as an info hazard. China will just outright ban her from the internet and just make their own version of Lane for their own citizens to consume. I gotta say, this is the dumbest idea I've had for a video, but it's so funny. I actually like this. I'm glad you guys fuck with this type of content and like it anyway. So I'm glad you guys are subscribed, liking the channel and everything. So if you're new to this channel, be sure to like and subscribe. Also hit the notification because we got future content on the way, baby. Shout out to you guys, and